Hey guys, this is going to be a different video than regularly because I'm not going to play any clips. Well, I will play clips, obviously, but I won't have them, like, right next to my forehead, if that makes any sense. So, apparently the Flash movie has been delayed till summer of 2023, and yeah, I think that might be the best thing to come out of this whole situation, because in case you don't know, the Flash movie is pretty much Brothers hitting the reset button on the DC Extended Universe, and, I think that's an awful idea from the get-go, because, number one, there are a few reasons as to why. Number one, what was the point of the previous movies? Especially the films that Zack Snyder made. What was the point of even making them? Now, like, I understand that they thought, oh, man, this is going to be as good as the MCU. We're going to be rolling in money. Like, we're going to have a cigar that we can light up because of our own money that we're going to have, or something like that. That they're going to be stupid rich. Well, they are stupid rich, but even more stupid rich because of this. However, since people didn't like Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman, they're deciding, why don't we just hit the reset button, make those movies never happen. Which is really dumb, since, they're the foundation of the DC Extended Universe, and it's just going to confuse the hell out of people. Like, imagine in 5 years from now, when the DCU has a lot of movies, people are going to ask, hey, should I start with Man of Steel since that was released first? And then you have the other guy saying, oh, no, you can't watch that anymore since the film's not canon to the DCU, but you're going to have to watch it in order to understand the Flash movie, since that movie retroactively makes that film not canon anymore. Huh? Or something like that. That's how it's going to play out in a few years from now. Also, number two, why call it a Flash movie? Now, I understand what they're trying to do. This is supposed to be Barry Allen's, aka The Flash's, first film on the big screen. Then, how come it doesn't feel like a Flash movie? Now, sure, you could argue with something like, say, Spider-Man in the MCU. His films, they tend to have some Marvel heroes, but it's only like one or two that are actually in the movie. Like with Spider-Man Homecoming, it was Iron Man. With Spider-Man Far From Home, it was Nick Fury. With No Way Home, it was just Doctor Strange and the other Spider people from the other live-action movies. Oh yeah, speaking of which, when they had other versions of Peter Parker, they didn't just decide, hey, let's just have Tom Holland be two other different people. No, they actually decided to get the actors back for that film. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, speaking of No Way Home, that film also references other film franchises, but they don't make them non-canon to previous movies. Here's what I mean. They're going to have Michael Keaton Batman show up in the movie, and apparently it's going to retcon Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Now, look, I understand people don't like those movies, but I like Batman Forever since I grew up with Batman the Brave and the Bold. Hell, that was my introduction to Batman. And to just say, oh yeah, that guy Joel Schumacher who passed away? Let's just tell him, even though he's dead, that his films never mattered, because we're just going to say, oh no, they didn't happen, they never happened. Thanks, Warner Brothers, for insulting a dead guy. Also, when Joel Schumacher did his Batman duology, he didn't just pretend that the previous two movies never happened. Want proof?
This way. You make the kill. Your pain doesn't die with Harvey, it grows. So you run out into the night to find another face, and another, and another. Until one terrible morning you wake up and realize that revenge has become your whole life. And you won't know why.
You can't understand. Your family wasn't killed by a maniac.
Yes, they were. We're the same.
Okay, I understand that clip might have gone on a bit too long, but you get my point, right? They didn't just pretend that the Tim Burton Batman movies didn't happen. They acknowledged them, but still did their own thing. And even if you still dislike the two Joel Schumacher movies, you can't deny Batman Forever and Batman and Robin did play an important role in Batman's mythology. Wanna know why? Because of so many people disliking Batman and Robin, we got the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And that's considered one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. And people still consider The Dark Knight to be not only the best superhero movie of all time, not just the best sequel of all time, but also the best movie of all time. People are still singing The Dark Knight's praises 14 years later. And it's all because of Batman and Robin. So I'm sorry, DC and Warner Brothers, you can't just ignore history that's important. Oh, speaking of the MCU with No Way Home, they didn't just pretend that since Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 were heavily criticized films, they didn't just act like, oh, those movies, people didn't like them, so we're just gonna pretend they didn't happen at all, and just go off Spider-Man 1, 2, and The Amazing Spider-Man. No, they had characters from those movies in the film. They didn't act like they didn't happen. So, you're lost, Warner Brothers. Also, to bring up an earlier point that I forgot to mention, when it came to this being the Flash's first ever film, it doesn't help that they're going to have characters like Ben Affleck's Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman apparently, and also going to introduce Supergirl into the DCU. Why not just call it a Justice League movie? That's pretty much what it is at this point. Also, about another thing related to Spider-Man, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did something similar. And if you're going to say I'm being hypocritical for not bringing up Spider-Verse and that did something similar to this movie, here's the thing. With Spider-Verse, even though, yes, it was a combination of Miles' origin story and the Spider-Verse comic, at the very least with that film, they didn't take time away with Miles. They had his arc grow because of the different Spider people in the movie. And besides, it's mostly just Miles, Peter B. Parker, and Spider-Gwen who got character development out of the 6 Spider people, whereas with Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, and Penny Parker, they were just there mostly for comic relief. Until the end until the Spider-Robot got killed. Hey, that's not a spoiler, the movie's been out for like 3 years now. Go with the program, people. But you get what I mean. That film did something right. Now, like, I know I'm complaining too early since, the film doesn't come out for another year, but you get what I'm saying, people. I don't think this will be a good movie at all, since not only is it disrespecting Zack Snyder and Joel Schumacher, but it's also disrespecting the people who worked their asses off day and night for those movies. Seriously, I can criticize Batman vs. Superman all I want, but I can't deny that there was people in that movie who did care about what they were making. So, I'm sorry, Warner Brothers, but you failed spectacularly. I know I'm excited for Black Adam and Shazam, but dear God, DC, please. You just don't know what you're doing at all. And that honestly makes me sad. It really does make me sad. Since even though, yes, my introduction to DC was Batman the Brave and the Bold, and that was more so supposed to be fun for the kids, it was still a good show. Oh, and also Teen Titans, but that show was really good. I still like Batman Brave and the Bold, but Teen Titans blows it out of the water. I'm just not in a good mood because of this movie. I know the film hasn't even come out yet, but it still managed to find a way to piss me off. So, it doesn't help that the DCU also has movies that just make me mad, like Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 1984. I'm just done. Even though, yes, I liked Peacemaker. I liked the Suicide Squad, the one that came out last year. Still, I'm just done with the DCU at this point. I don't even know why I continue. Maybe it's just for Shazam. I don't know. All I know is, I'm sorry, Warner Brothers. I might see the movie just to see how bad it is, but you still failed. You lost this round. And that's why I just don't really care that much for the future of the DCU. But on a lighter topic, starting tomorrow, I'm going to upload a video about my thoughts on the first 10 episodes of Young Justice since I've started that show last Sunday. And I did have to search. I did have to Google one of the episodes just to make sure when I talk about it, I'm like, okay, that's the episode that had this scene in it. So that way, if I talk about it in the wrong episode, people are going to yell at me. And because of me starting to do like a vlog type of thing for Young Justice, it makes me sad that I didn't do that earlier, like at the start of 2021, when WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and the other Marvel shows came out. And I also didn't do that for Boba Fett or Bad Batch. But don't worry, I'll do that with Obi-Wan and Moon Knight. So yeah, I hope you guys look forward to that. And yeah, see y'all tomorrow. Bye.